Hi, welcome back to the table exercise. So let's reopen the file we last saved if you've not already done so, which we saved as table exercise 02. So now what we're going to do is apply some materials to the objects in the scene. This will be a very basic introduction to get you going, so don't worry too much, but hopefully a bit of fun. Click M on the keyboard to bring up the material editor. There are two modes here, but we are going with this mode, as you can see. If it's not displayed in this format, click on modes and do select the compact material editor. You do not at this stage want the slate material editor, which is much more complex but obviously much more powerful. So let's go back to compact. First of all, we'll probably create a very basic wood material for the table. So click on the first entry here. Moving down, select next to the diffuse, click on this box, little box here, and that will give you a choice of materials. If you scroll down, we'll pick wood. Click OK. Now left click on the table top. Up here, click the Assign button, which will only be highlighted if there is something that can be assigned. You will notice the tabletop is turned white. Don't worry about that. It has happily assigned the wood material to it. So let's have a look at how this might appear when we render it. Previously, when we did this, we clicked on rendering and then perhaps render setup within that render. But of course there is a shortcut assuming everything is selected properly, and in this case we have to make sure over here we have selected the camera view, which is highlighted with the yellow border. If so, we can click on this quick key for rendering, and there we go. We now have a wooden tabletop. Let's now select the four legs. Pick one of the legs, hold down the control key, and just select the other three legs. We now have four legs selected, and up here you can see it knows it's selected four objects. Now back across to the material editor and assign the material to the four legs, this same material. And they've all gone white now. Let's do a quick render again, and lo and behold we have a table with the four legs all with a wooden material. It may not look great, but it proves what can be done and it shows you how to do it. Let's close that. Next, let's pick a material, say for the teapot. So we'll click second one here, and this time click on standard, then click on architectural, then we will look at user defined templates, and in this case let's pick paint flat. Now we want to pick a colour to go on the teapot, so click on diffuse colour here. Let's pick something that's a sort of orangey brown colour, say about here, and then you can choose the one you want. This doesn't have to be exact, don't worry about it. It is merely to show you what can or cannot be done. That's what I'll go for. Click OK. You have to make sure the teapot is selected by left clicking on it. Box appears around it. Now we can assign. Let's do another quick render and see if we've now got a different colour teapot. And there we go. A sort of browny colour. Let's save a copy of that last render. If you press this button here, clone render frame window, that will create a copy of that for you. Push it up there just now. Let's close this again. Now let's go back here, pick a slightly different colour, make it more red perhaps. There we go. Click OK. You now need to reassign it to the teapot. There we go. And click render again. And you see, if you compare the two, that we in fact have changed the colour of the teapot. So we'll leave the colour as it is now. What I would now like you to do is apply any colours, any materials you like to the cone and the box. And when you've done so, please return to this point and we will continue with stage 6. We will animate the scene. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you now have something not dissimilar to the scene I have created. I'll just click on render again to see how it looks. Not too bad. So before we go any further, let's just save this. Again, save as, click on plus, and we will have saved it, as you can see up here, in the next increment up of 0, 3. We're now going on to stage 6, how to animate the scene.